Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. This one's going to be explosive. They've already started. I had to sort of calm them down a little bit before we went live. It is the Chelsea United preview, and boy, what a game this is going to be. Arguably, Tuchel's, I would say, hardest challenge yet as a Chelsea manager. Atletico with a lot of injuries, a very defensive side, but this is a United side that can, when they're playing well, do well, providing they don't have that fridge freezer at the back, right? Providing there's no sign of a fridge freezer, United could do quite well. But we're going to get into this. We'll start with the United boys, because you are second in the league. How long that will happen, I don't know. Confident for tomorrow, or what's your thoughts?
Yeah, got to be confident. It's Chelsea. We can't go into a game. We can't go into a game saying we're not confident.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to keep fighting. Every game's important for United now. Every game has to be a game where we go in and think we can win this. We should win this. Mm-hmm. It's like you said. Now it's going to be Tuchel's biggest test. You could say Atletico was, but that wasn't a test for them. They sat back for 90 minutes. Yeah, I'm confident. I might not sound it, but I definitely am. It's Chelsea. It doesn't matter. It's Chelsea.
What about you, RJ? Confident for tomorrow, or?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident, to be fair. Obviously, we do have some injuries. Obviously, Paul Pogba is injured. Obviously, Edson Cavani is rumoured to be injured. Fingers crossed he is not. But obviously, for Dom's sake, we do not want Martial up top. But we will get, obviously, into the fact that, obviously, we do have some players who are fit. Obviously, we did not start everyone against Real Sociedad back on Thursday night. We did do a bit of resting. We also brought in loads of players. Dan James is obviously injured, as we see, and hopefully he does recover as soon as possible. But for this Chelsea side, obviously, like Dom said, they were playing an Atletico side that literally defended for 90 minutes. They had three centre-backs in their four at the back, to be fair. Hermoso is not a right-back, no matter how much you want to say he's not. He's a centre-back. But other than that, I do think this will be a tough test. Obviously, in the last game for Chelsea, they couldn't even beat Southampton. So we'll see how this goes.
And for the Chelsea fans, obviously, United, they've got an impressive away run. They that can't be denied. They are unbeaten in over a year, but Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea, from what I've seen, yes, you haven't dominated teams. You haven't really put lots and lots of goals past them. But defensively, you've been very solid. So what's your thoughts? Obviously, it's going to be at Stamford Bridge. Confident, or?
Can we just acknowledge first that under Frank Lampard, we drew with you guys. We drew with you guys 0-0.
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
No, wait, I'm not done yet.
Last week you got beat 4-0.
Hold on. Let me land first. Hold on.
Okay.
Just to clarify, we beat you, it drew 0-0.
Okay.
No, I'm just talking about this season. Under Frank Lampard, a manager that has no experience, got chucked in the deep end.
Okay.
It was his first huge club, big club managerial career, position.
Okay.
That's a fact. He was dropped in the deep end and it didn't work out. Fair enough. However, we drew 0-0 with you. With Tuchel, we have a tactical a man that's very good with his tactics. He's created space. The difference since Lampard left to now, there is difference. The players look like they want to play for him. The players genuinely look like they want to play for him. We've been creating more space. Kovacic, apart from the last two games, Kovacic has been on form. I don't know what he did, but he brought Kovacic back. Hudson-Odoi's always been good, in my opinion. I think Hudson-Odoi... I also believe Giroud should be starting against Man United for the experience basis, because if we start Abraham or Werner, we might just hand Man United the win, and I'm not doing that. So I think we need Giroud starting.
I'd also say physicality. Giroud's a
very
physical centre.
But he's also got experience.
One minute. Lindelof cannot handle a physical striker who's going to bully him like he was back at school, giving him a smiley down the toilet. Lindelof is the weakest defender I've seen in the Premier League. You'd have a better chance putting Brandon Williams at centre back, because at least he's got some fight about him.
But
Lindelof looks like he just could.
But United have three big injuries. Well, two of them are unconfirmed yet, but you've got Pogba that's definitely confirmed, and the two rumoured, which haven't been confirmed but looks it, Cavani and McTominay. are both confirmed. Now, for me, Cavani plays a big part in United. For me personally, he does. He has the experience and he's very capable, and very talented. I think not having him is going to be a big blow for you guys. I mean, McTominay maybe not so much. He turns up sometimes. He doesn't turn up. For me, McTominay. No, but if you look at Cavani and McTominay, there's
compared to your players, I think McTominay has been the best out of them. The only player I can see from your midfield that's actually done better than McTominay is Mason Mount, right? And arguably, he's your best player, and he's the one to watch tomorrow, right? No matter how much we want to talk about it, he's the one to watch. United fans rate him because the fact is he is good. We don't rate Timo Werner because he's not good. He's a piece of trash.
I'm not even saying that. I'm not even going to defend Werner for the amount of money we pay.
You did.
No. His passing and assists aren't bad. It's actually him getting on the end of the ball and putting the goal in the back of the net. Just like Bambi on ice.
The question is, why did Chelsea buy Werner? Because they needed someone to score goals. But
he's not doing that. I don't need him.
Both sides have got a shit attacker. Martial for United, Werner for Chelsea.
Oh my god!
You've both got a shit side of the attack. But Shed End, obviously, you're also a Chelsea fan. We'll let you get your word in before the fight actually starts. It's rumored to be about 3:30. The fight's going to happen. RJ and Charles already look like they're ready for it. But Shed, what about you? Obviously, Tuchel, he's had a great start at Chelsea. A lot of wins. I still don't think you've been beaten. So, are you confident?
Yeah, I'm actually very confident about tomorrow. But this United side is a team that is playing counter-attacking football. What I've been saying all along, what Mourinho was doing is what Ole went and did. He enhanced whatever Mourinho was sacked for. So I'm confident. We don't look vulnerable against counter-attacking teams. Atletico Madrid was a counter-attacking team, and we neutralized them. I think we are attacking with 5 and defending with 5. So we look solid. We just need to be to finish our chances tomorrow. But I'm very confident.
Just an update. Argyle are 2-0 up. Fucking have that. But back on to Chelsea United.
Finally get a win. At least one of our teams is going to get a win this weekend.
I know. 2-0 up after it looks like around 15 minutes. Absolutely brilliant. Love to see it. But what I want to do now is, obviously, Ollie has got a history doing fairly well against Tuchel. I mean, he's beaten him twice at PSG, obviously lost at Old Trafford. I mean, Fred, quite a heavy impact there. Man needs to keep his head on in this game. But do you think that Ollie can do it again, or are we thinking that Tuchel's going to just smash Ollie into a submarine boat?
Well, it's different, though, because Tuchel don't have Mbappe, Neymar, Di Maria, Marquinhos, Kimpembe, the whole PSG team, and you can't expect Tuchel to come against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's done it twice already to Tuchel and think, all right, let's go. We've got Mason Mount, who's a very good player, before she comes and shouts at me.
Thank you.
Timo Werner.
Dom already knows that he's getting it.
I will help you. But I don't get why you're not ripping into Bambi on ice. I'm willing for you to rip on Bambi on ice, Abraham. Abraham is Bambi on ice.
We don't need he's irrelevant. He's irrelevant.
Kimpembe, Marquinhos. Oh, Rudiger, Christensen.
Is Thiago Silva fit?
No, he's not.
I'm sorry.
Just to clarify something,
Arsenal next season. Let's be honest.
Just to clarify something, when we were placed to get Atletico Madrid in the Champions League, how many fans out of everybody ripped into us saying we were going to get absolutely thrashed? Everybody basically said it's
no
the
one knew
biggest
about
shock.
Injuries until they happened.
To be fair, I'll put my hands up.
They still had Felix.
I'll put my hands up. I thought Chelsea. I thought Chelsea. In all fairness, I got it wrong. I thought Chelsea were going to lose to Atletico, but Chelsea and Tuchel did very well. I thought they executed Tuchel's game plan very well. I have no problem saying that because I'm a neutral.
I'll
But
say
that's my point. What I'm saying is, don't underestimate Chelsea because it will come to bite you in the arse. Like
that Atletico Madrid game suited Chelsea and Tuchel's
Yeah.
football so much.
no,
Literally just
that's
passed the
cool.
ball.
did.
But
They
you're not.
literally sat back and waited for you to lose the ball.
We
That's
are
all it
still.
was.
Yeah, and it didn't work out very well. Callum Hudson-Odoi had the left side.
It should have been 2-0 down in 10 minutes with mistakes at the back. Suarez should have bagged 2 in the first 10 minutes.
And they didn't. And who's got the away goal and who doesn't? Yeah, let's talk about that then.
Oh,
You know what?
my God.
You can
Your
come
centre-back
to
line.
Beating Atletico Madrid once and you think you're
Yeah.
fucking
I wanna-
dogs.
No, I'm not
Wow.
saying that.
Listen,
Wow.
can we
I'm
just-
not saying
listen,
that. I
Charlotte.
genuinely thought Atletico were going to have my team
Well, but listen,
struggling. I
Okay,
genuinely
okay,
did. And in
okay.
the first half an hour, we struggled to get into the game. I'm not even denying that. But we did play well in the second half, and you can't say we didn't because we did. Like, we did. We did play well. And anyone that wants to disbase that obviously needs to go to Specsavers because there wasn't
Okay,
watching the match.
with all the respect, what happened against Southampton? What
I'm
happened?
not saying that, but look at the difference.
No.
Look,
Let's
no,
talk
no,
about Southampton because that's your last
You know
PL
what?
game.
No, that's fine. Let's talk about it. We were shit in Southampton.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is look at the difference. You've gone from having 3 wins and playing well to drawing with Southampton. Like, that was a shit one. I'm not even denying that.
With all the
But
respect,
what I'm
you
saying
cannot
is
beat anyone good.
yeah, but look what I'm saying. You've got 3 wins, then you've got a shit game. But what I'm saying is it switched. So you had 3 great games, then you had a dead ass game, and then you had a great game. Like, I don't know what game is going to happen next, but with the Atletico game, we should be going onwards and upwards because it's kind of incentive. We've got this away goal. Let's push forward and keep getting these wins. That's what I would see it as.
But here's the
Southampton
thing.
aren't a bad side. Southampton aren't a bad side either.
They're not,
'cause
but they were
RJ,
off form.
It took Cavani getting a 94th minute winner to sort of get you 3 points.
No,
there.
but listen,
And
no,
if you want to talk
Niall,
big upset, shall
Niall,
we
It's all right,
discuss
darling.
Sheffield
You
United?
can give us a
Niall,
clap. We've got 3
Niall,
points. You got 1.
No. But
listen,
RJ, do you
Niall,
want to discuss Sheffield United? Do you want
I
to
will
discuss
I
Sheffield
will tell you
United?
this, right? You're talking about the
Do you
last
want to
time.
discuss Sheffield
All
United?
happened
Yeah,
last time we faced
can we
Southampton.
discuss Sheffield
What happened?
United?
What
Beating
happened
Sheffield
last time we
United
played
isn't for everybody.
Right. But moving
Hey, getting
on,
a point
right?
against
Moving on.
City,
I mean, having a manager
either,
for
so-
2 years is
Right.
not for
But
everybody.
moving on. What I want to do next is I want you to pick 2 players from each team that you're worried about. So for United, I want you to pick 2 Chelsea players, and for the Chelsea guys, I want you to pick 2 United players.
There's
So
only
we'll
2
start with you,
players that-
Dom. We'll start with you, Dom. Which Chelsea players are you afraid that if they turn up, that they'll end your unbeaten run?
Mason Mount and Giroud.
Bang on.
They're the only 2 I think that can cause problems to United tomorrow.
Would you not say
wouldn't
Hudson
see-
Odoi?
I was just about to say, I wouldn't
he's Shaw
sleep
in his
on
back
Hudson
pocket.
Odoi.
Shaw will have him in his
I'm-
back pocket like he did with Mbappe and with
I
Neymar.
wouldn't sleep on Callum Hudson-Odoi. The boy.
But I would
he
with
also-
Shaw.
Thank
Also,
you.
Shaw has
no,
been
the thing is,
best
that after he was taken off after 30 minutes, he looks like an absolutely disgusting, angry beast. Like, that may have fired up a lot of inner, I'm going to kick some ass and I'm going to go.
What happened to Tuchel? Took him off
Well,
after.
Do you know what? I'd actually love now that you've like absolutely ignored Hudson Odoi for him to get a goal next
No, the
tomorrow.
thing is,
I'd
the thing-
actually love that because that would literally be like a fuck you to Man U fans.
I really
No.
think Marcus Alonso's got a bigger attacking threat than Hudson Odoi. Personally.
I mean, no, but the
And
thing
I
is
think
about
you're delusional, but okay.
And I
Wow.
think you're delusional. You beat Atletico
wait,
Madrid once, and you think you're
Wait,
fucking
wait,
top
wait.
dogs all of a
Sorry,
sudden.
how can you even compare
You
Alonso
thought
with
your
Hudson
fan base
Odoi?
thought Frank Lampard's going to be a longer job than Solskjaer.
Right.
What happened? He got sacked, darling.
I didn't
Right,
want
Lampard.
I didn't want Lampard.
yeah, but
Right,
guess
and
what?
let's move on. Let's let the Chelsea guys answer which
Yeah.
United players that if they turn up, you're afraid that they can do a job against Tuchel.
Okay.
Cavani. I think for me, Cavani is talented. If he's actually playing, that says. So if he's not
Yeah.
playing, then I'm going to probably say Rashford, Martial. Martial shocks me sometimes.
What dare
Okay.
I mean,
Tell me, has Martial not shocked you with goals? Yes or no?
Martial shocks me every time he fucking plays.
I'm sorry, no. But the thing is, if Bruno shows up, he has no chance. I'm sorry. That he's the one that literally impacts every game for us. If he's even having a good game, we rely on either Pogba, who's out injured, or someone else to try and help us out. But the fact is, he's on point at the moment. Sure, we didn't do well, obviously, against Real Sociedad. But the thing is, we were 4-0 up. We need to relax. We brought on Shakhtar and Diallo coming on in the second half. They were the main 2 points that we had to take from that, because the fact is we are trying to make the youth players into like generational superstars. And that's why United are forward. I mean, we have Greenwood, who potentially could be one of the biggest stars in the next 5-10 years. We don't know, but I do believe so, because he's the potential.
Charlie makes a good point in the comments. He says Bruno Fernandes. Charlie,
That's all.
are you sort of worried about Bruno? Like, I know he hasn't got that record against the top 6, but that can't carry on forever.
No, I
He's a
agree.
well-
Like he's a good player. I would happily take him in my team. I'm not saying that at all. I've never said that. Like, I rate Bruno. I think he's one of your best players throughout the whole season. But I think I don't really have to mention that I'm worried about him. I think everyone knows that you have to be worried about Bruno. It's not someone that I have to kind of acknowledge. Everyone knows Bruno's there. Everyone knows he makes impact in the games. He's very incredible. And if I wasn't a Chelsea fan, I'd actually I enjoy watching him. Like, he's a great player. You can't not say that. He does impact games. He's made a difference since he joined Man U. He really has had an impact. Tactically, he's very good. I think he's made Man U quite a force to be reckoned with, to be honest. I have no bad words for Bruno, like, as far as I'm concerned.
No, big respect there, because obviously a lot of rival fans they do this, don't they? Where they try and play down Bruno's ability, play down that he's a moment player. I know you won't, but
I think for a player like that, if you as a rival fan, if you're going to downplay Bruno, there's either 2 reasons you're doing it. You're shit at football, or you're worried shitless, like you're scared that, like, he's going to come at you. But you have to admit, like, when a player has talent, you can't deny it. You can't just play it down. I'm happy to admit that Bruno's a worry for Chelsea, I think.
Bruno's
100%.
only a worry if you don't set up correctly. Like, in some games, I think it was Southampton away where we only got through. Southampton set up, and the midfielders, I think they put 2 on Bruno. So even when he goes to the left and to the right, they literally just follow him. So if Chelsea set up perfectly, you'll sort it.
Yeah,
I think
but who will do
the big impact? I think the big impact will be if Rashford, and because for me, I think United will, if obviously Bruno, if Cavani isn't starting or playing, I think it will most likely be Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. That would be what I assume the front three. If Greenwood and Rashford can help protect Bruno a little bit by opening that space, by getting a player to follow them as well, then I think Bruno will have an impact. But also Rashford and Greenwood need to be making them runs, as does Martial. Martial needs to have a lot more movement, in my opinion, because if he doesn't move, Bruno's going to struggle, because Bruno wants to do them quick overlapping balls over the defence. But Shedden, obviously for you, which United players worry you for tomorrow?
Mine is Rashford and what do you call this nigga? Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes. Mine is Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. And you said Martial doesn't move. Do you remember that move where he was picked? It was a game against City, I think, and it was a free kick, and he did this a move behind the defenders and finished it. He does, but he doesn't seem to do it more often. Yeah. So he does move. He has those movements and he can be tricky, but he's not consistent. But on his day, he can punish you.
Yeah, you got to think that when it is his day.
Yeah, when is his day? His day was last year, and now he's time to go.
What, are you on about Bruno?
No, Martial.
Oh, Martial.
Martial.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I'm
But
going to say
what I
that.
want to do, what we're going to do now is we've had a very good idea. So we're going to do a combined 11 between both United and Chelsea. We won't pick a manager because that's just going to cause an absolute. That's just going to be. That will end up like a Royal Rumble brawl. To be frankly honest with you, I just don't think it will work too well there. But we are going to do a combined 11. I just need. There it is.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is we'll go one by one. You'll pick which player you want. We'll start obviously with Dom, work our way down, and then if there's a draw, I'll take the deciding vote because that just seems a bit easier. And the good thing is I'm unbiased because I actually like probably half of Chelsea and half of United. I actually quite like a lot of the players. I think Mason Mount for me is a talent and a half. But we'll start with you, Dom. Who would be your keeper in the combined 11?
Oh, due to, I'm still putting De Gea in there.
Yeah.
I just think he's still better than the two keepers Chelsea have got. I know Chelsea keepers are very good, like Mendy, and you got Kepa who can turn up, but I'm still choosing De Gea over them too.
Yeah,
that's fair. RJ, what about you, mate?
Yeah, for me, De Gea goes overall. I think he's been doing well this season. I do think people don't rate him as highly because obviously last season he had a very bad season, so people will judge him on that instead of this season. For me,
it is on this season only. That's what.
Yeah,
no,
I understand. I understand, but I understand that people don't rate him anymore because of the fact that what he did last season. So I think, but I do think Mendy has a lot of problems. I mean, he showed it in the past and in this season, really, if I'm really honest. And for me, De Gea just beats both of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Charles, what about you?
It's a tough one. De Gea has had a good season this season, but Mendy for me, up until the last kind of couple of games, not even. He's had a couple of games that have been really dodgy, and he's kind of not turned up. But if you're looking at it overall, Mendy hasn't had a shit season. He hasn't absolutely cocked it up, and he hasn't let that many goals in, to be honest. So for me, Mendy goes in.
Oh, Mendy. Shedend, what about you?
I'll pick Mendy. If we are choosing him purely on this season, it should be Mendy. He's, I think, third on clean sheets this season. He has made a few good saves, and it's only that I think you're just picking De Gea because he hasn't had those problems with his feet. Like there was a time Rudiger tried to, I don't know what he was trying to do the day that he scored an own goal, and the other day against Atletico he had a few shitty moments, 2 or 3, but you can't judge him based on those only. Overall I'll take Mendy, but De Gea is a good goalkeeper, but I'll take Mendy.
So I don't base everything off stats, but I have got their stats up here. Mendy has got 10 clean sheets. De Gea's got 8. De Gea's played 3 more games than Mendy. But on saves, Mendy's made 34. De Gea's made 49. So that's it's sort of 1-1 there. I am going to get their goalkeeping stats up though. Mendy's conceded 16. De Gea's conceded 29. Saves per match, Mendy 1.7, De Gea 2.1. Save success rate is 68% for Mendy and 62% for De Gea. De Gea's faced 4 penalties, not saved any. Mendy's faced 2, not saved any. So I think if we base it off that, it does have to be Mendy. The only reason I say Mendy is because for me, I feel like De Gea's lost his bravery. I think if we were having this debate 3 years, 4 years ago with De Gea, then that is a no question. I think De Gea is and always will be classed as a great goalkeeper. But I do think it is that time for United to start making that transition between De Gea and Henderson. I do think that even though Edward Mendy, there is that potential for a error. So I would go for Mendy. So that is 3-2 to Mendy. So De Gea won't be in it. But that's, I think, the stats alone, if we're going off the stats as well, and for a keeper, it's a bit easier to go off stats, isn't it? Because that's sort of what the keeper's job is. So it is Edward Mendy that has made the goalkeeper for the combined 11. We're going to go right back now. Dom, who?
Anyway, we'll put it in eventually.
Oh, do you want what? Edward Mendy. ED.
No. But literally keeps putting it up there at the left back, so we'll get it up to get everyone sorted. I'd say.
Oh right, yeah. So Dom, right back. Who are you going for?
Wan-Bissaka. Can't say anything much about him. Who is Chelsea's right back?
Reece James.
It's a mixture between Reece James and
yeah, but he doesn't start though, does he? So
yeah,
under Tuchel he doesn't start.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Wan-Bissaka. He's solid as well. He's just fucking mint.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. RJ.
Likewise, I think I do think Wan-Bissaka does edges. I think Aspilicueta, because obviously Aspilicueta does. I think he's a better out of the two between him and Reece James.
He's the centre back under Tuchel.
Is he? Oh well. Anyway,
Yeah.
I just think performance-wise this season, you have to give it to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I mean, he's improved his attacking game by a good bit. He's got 2 goals this season, and he's definitely trying to get better attacking. His defending, I think, no one can question his defending skills. I think he's one of the best one-on-one defenders in the Premier League. No one can beat him, or if anyone has, it's very rare that they do. So I do believe he does get that edge.
Mm-hmm. Shah, what about you?
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with the lads. For me, Wan-Bissaka, I don't really rate Reece James, so
Yeah.
if I don't rate a player that much, for me, I can't compare it with Wan-Bissaka, who's actually been quite solid for the season that Man United have had, and hasn't actually done much wrong. So yeah, for me, Wan-Bissaka, very talented kid. I can see him with a lot of potential going far in Man U.
Totally agree. Shedend, what about you? Obviously, it is 3-0 to Wan-Bissaka at the moment. So Wan-Bissaka will be in the combined 11. RJ, if that's not working, if you use another site, I don't know if you do use another site.
It won't let me work. But here, let me look at something.
But Shedend, who would you pick at right back? Obviously, for me, it's between Reece James and Wan-Bissaka, really.
I would pick Reece James. Wan-Bissaka is just good defensively. Going forward, he's shit. It's only that Reece James is not playing because Tuchel has decided to go with a back 3, and I don't think Reece James is that good as a right wing back. And you've decided to go with a back 4, so I'll pick Reece James. He's a better right back than a right wing back, so I'll pick Reece James.
Okay.
I don't understand the hype. I don't understand the hype on Aaron Wan-Bissaka just because he made.
It's okay. I'll help you with that hype. So Wan-Bissaka is in, but I've again, I don't base it all on stats. When we're comparing them, stats do help. Wan-Bissaka's got 2 goals, 2 assists. Reece James got 1 goal, 2 assists. Reece James has played 19 games. Wan-Bissaka 23. If we look at their defensive abilities first. Wan-Bissaka's got 8 clean sheets. Reece James has got 5. Reece James has conceded 9 goals. Wan-Bissaka 27. Here's where it gets mad. Wan-Bissaka's made 12 blocks compared to 4 for Reece James. 32 interceptions compared to 13 for Reece James. 71 tackles compared to 32. And 44 tackles won compared to 22. He's made 39 clearances compared to 30. So I think when we and sometimes stats can be deceiving, but they are very, very, very heavy onto Wan-Bissaka.
And people wonder why I don't hype up Reece James.
Yeah, and to be fair, I definitely understand that from Shah. I think Wan-Bissaka's also added the attacking game to his the attacking element to his game this season. So for me, that is a fair one. So we've got Mendy and Wan-Bissaka. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't think a fridge freezer gets into this. But we'll ask. Dom, your centre back.
I'm going to put Aspilicueta in. Mainly because I don't want to choose the fridge and freezer. Plus, he's a good leader and he's a good defender, Aspilicueta. There's nothing that really faults him.
You want one or two defenders, or what are we doing?
So there'll be two defenders, two centre backs, but we'll go for the first defender first, and then we'll go on to the next one. So RJ, for you, obviously that's 1 to Aspilicueta.
Yeah. For me, I think just get him out of the way. I think let's go for Aspilicueta.
Yes, that's fair. Charles?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Aspilicueta. Because I don't want to pick Man United's choice. I'm really sorry.
No,
we don't care.
Nah, don't worry.
I don't think anyone can pick a fridge freezer. Let's be fair. We are getting some feedback from someone. It might be you, Shedend.
I'll pick Aspilicueta.
Aspilicueta, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So that's 4-0 for Aspie. Dom, second. I'm getting really bad feedback from someone.
Who can hear that? How do you say Aspilicueta?
I think it is Shedden.
Yeah, I think it is.
It is.
Yeah. Shedend, I've muted your mic. If you want to just unmute it when you talk. We're just getting some really bad feedback from your line.
It's AZ.
The next one.
It's AZ for Aspie. It's AZ.
So next, obviously, the next centre back pair in there. Who are we going for?
Well, I don't really want to put another Chelsea one, so I'm going to Eric Bailly.
I'm going to second that. I do think when Eric Bailly has played, he's been our best centre back. And quite frankly, I don't think Chelsea have been blessed with the best centre-backs. Obviously, Thiago Silva has been injured a lot this season. And he hasn't been... I think he's been overhyped, and to be fairness, we all thought he was going to lead this side to greatness but with the 200 million signings. But I do think Eric Bailly just gets in.
Okay, and Shaw?
This is a tough one. Bailly's had a great season, but for me personally, Thiago Silva's been good too, but if we're going to compare both, Bailly gets in for me, just by the cusp of it.
Yeah, and Shedden, what about you? Obviously, 3 votes to Bailly, but where would you go?
I'll pick Bailly, just because Silva is not available.
Perfect. So, obviously, left back. I mean, I don't really think there can be much of a fight about this one, but Dom, who's your left back?
Luke Shaw, 100%. He's one of the best 3 left backs in Premier League at the moment of time and this season. He's just brilliant, whatever he does. Plus, coming back from a very hard few years at United, and he's come back this year and he's just smashed it. So Luke Shaw.
Yeah, RJ?
Yeah, 100% Luke Shaw for me. I think obviously back in 2015 he had that injury that could potentially have ended his career, let's be honest. And he's been trying to get back. I think under Jose was not a big help. Obviously Ashley Young was the main left back under Jose, so I do think his confidence was destroyed. But I do think under Ole he does have a little bit of backing. And I do think when questions were asked about his position when Telles came in, he stepped up, and that's one of the reasons why we talk about him so much in this United team, because the fact is he has stepped up and he's one of our main players, because every game he's literally involved with a goal. And I think that's one thing you have to take in consideration, the fact that he is getting better. He is coming back to one of the best left backs in the league. And the fact is that one day we could see him with something good. Do you know what I mean? So I do think Luke Shaw definitely deserves to be in this 11.
Yeah, Shaw?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the lads. Luke Shaw gets in for me. I mean, if you look at ours compared to... I don't even want to name mine. That's how embarrassed I am sometimes by him. So Luke Shaw's literally this season and end of last season, he's been incredible for you guys. He's got it's like he's become a new player. He's gone from like not really having anything to do to actually coming into his own again and finding his feet and actually deserving a place like all the time and actually being one of your best.
Yeah, I think Luke Shaw's got a really good opportunity to be England's number one left back for the Euros. But Shedan, what about you, mate?
I'll pick Luke Shaw.
That's easy.
Huh?
That's easy.
Okay. So 3 midfielders.
Just waiting for it. Yeah, he's muted it. So we'll go with central midfield. Now, these can be DMs or just normal central midfielders. In fact,
Yeah.
both of you play with a double pivot, to be frankly honest. So we'll just call them a double pivot. So Dom, first one in double pivot for you.
I'm gonna go with my United boy first at McTominay, just because he's a leader on the pitch. He's technically good. He's very clever as well. He's a very clever footballer. So yeah, Scott McTominay.
Yeah, RJ.
I agree. I'm going for McTominay. But the thing is, he's got more goals this season. I do believe he's got 9 this season. He's definitely improving. His intensity is unmatchable, I do think. And whenever there's a foul against us, he's the first one up in the rest face saying, "What the hell are you doing?" So we do need him having this team. His physicality is unmatched. I think he deserves to be in the squad.
Yeah, Charles.
Yeah, I think this is a hard decision for me because I feel like a couple of our Chelsea players are deserving in there. And I'm not taking away from any of the Man U players. I mean, Jorginho doesn't deserve a place for me, like at all. He doesn't. I'm a bit torn between Kovacic, but looking on goals wise and appearances, McTominay gets it. So I'd give it to McTominay, just literally over goals. The fact that he has more goals.
There is another space in the double pivot who will play alongside McTominay, so it may be a Chelsea guy there. But that is McTominay 3-0. But Shedan, who'd you go for, bro?
I'll pick McTominay.
Nice and simple.
Easy. There we go. So in the next part of the double pivot, Dom, who would you go for that one, mate?
I'm going for Kovacic. Kovacic. I don't know how to say his name.
Kovacic,
but I think he's a really good player, mate. Like Shah said, he's not the best few games. Like the Atletico one, he wasn't the best, but I think he's a very good midfielder. I think he works really hard as well for Chelsea. I think he's a big part of their plans for under Tuchel.
Yeah, fair. RJ?
This one could be controversial, but I do think he can play in this position. I'm going for Mason Mount in the other centre mid position. I will tell you why. Because the fact is, he is very versatile, and I do think if he does play for England, which I do hope, because let's be honest, he's a really good player and he deserves all the credit. So, but I do think, as good as Kovacic is as a player, I do think if you're going to make the best XI, you do need to put Mason Mount into this team. I don't know what the Chelsea fans will think about this, obviously, but we all know who's going to go in that cam position. And, I do want to have Mason Mount on my team. So, centre mid, I'm going for Mason Mount.
So both United boys, one's gone for Kovacic, one's gone for Mason Mount. So it's going to be down to the Chelsea guys to decide who they want from their team. Charles, Kovacic or Mount?
I'm Mount. I'm saying Mount. He's outperformed Kovacic. However much Kovacic has had a spurt, Mount has been 10 times more consistent this season. He's had a consistent season. It's not like he's had a couple of shit games and then actually decided to turn up like Kovacic has, got a new manager and decided to turn up. And I'm not saying Kovacic was bad before, but there was nothing there. At least Mount has been consistent throughout the whole season. Yes, as far as I'm concerned, Mount goes in. Better player, better tactics, so more consistency.
Yeah, so it's 2-1 to Mason Mount. Shedan, who are you going for, bro?
I'll pick Kante. Yeah, because looking at this team, we have McTominay. He'll be making those late runs in the box. We need someone at the back to defend against counter-attack. So I'll pick Kante. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Shal.
Kante hasn't actually turned up this season. He's done nothing this season.
I know, but he's...
I don't like. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he hasn't actually done anything for me. Has he played much this season? No, we've had Jorginho and Kovacic and Mount.
But that doesn't mean Kante is a bad player just because Jorginho is starting ahead of him.
Mount has been his most consistent player. Most consistent
Kante is world class. I'm sorry.
Guys, shed end. I'm getting extremely bad playback from your end.
Yeah.
Let me restart. Let me restart the link.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Chelsea fans going in.
My vote personally would have gone to Mason Mount. I think you can't argue with Mason.
Yeah.
Some actual sense.
You can't argue with Mason Mount. He's I know he's been accused of being Lampard's son, but we have to look at it more specific. Mason Mount has not only performed for Lampard, he's performed for Southgate, and he's performed for Tuchel. That is not a fluke. He's just a very, very good player who I think one day will end up being Chelsea's captain. So I think you can't argue with anyone but Mason Mount. Even though I think Kante is a brilliant player, I just don't think he's on the level of Mason Mount this year, which I think is fair. But it is Mason Mount in there. So we've got a British duo in midfield with Mount and McTominay. This one I feel like is going to be quite an easy one. So let's just go with the one-word answer. Dom, who's your attacking centre mid?
Bruno.
There we go.
RJ?
You already know. I've already put him in.
Yeah,
Sean?
Bruno. I'm not even disagreeing with this one. I'm not even I'm not even willing to bring up any Chelsea players because you know that Bruno takes the top of it. Like the talent on him, like.
And shed end, Bruno?
Yeah, Bruno. No opposition.
Thank God for that.
Easy. That one was easily done. Right. Now I think it might get a little bit fiery. We'll start right wing. Dom, who's your right winger?
Mason Greenwood. Only because I really don't rate any. I don't know if Hudson-Odoi right wing. I don't rate him any. I just don't rate him. I think Greenwood's a better player. I think he's a better youngster. I think he's going to develop more, and his potential is going to be much better than Hudson-Odoi. Even if he does play right wing or he adapts the strike position. So Greenwood.
RJ?
100% agree with Dom. I do believe Greenwood is slightly... I think he's better. I do rate Callum Hudson-Odoi as a player. I do think he has a lot of potential to be one of the best right wingers. But the fact of the matter is, Greenwood's not a right winger. We all know that. He's a centre forward that was moved to right winger. But the fact that he's changed there in under a year and literally playing very well there as a youngster is incredible. And that's something that you should not take for granted. I do think, obviously, maybe next year Callum Hudson-Odoi will probably take that right wing position if we don't get Jadon Sancho. So yeah, I do think Mason Greenwood is going to take that right winger for me.
Yeah, fair. Charles?
This is not the easiest for me. Mason Greenwood's very talented, but I'm basing this off the fact that for me, Hudson-Odoi has kind of has been one of the, especially when Lampard was draining the team and it just looked like we didn't want to play on the pitch. He was one of the people that used to come on and actually look like they still wanted something, along with Mason Mount. So for me, I'm going to say Hudson-Odoi.
Fair. Shed end?
I'll go for Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Oh God.
Oh dear Christ! Why? Please, no, legit. I'm sorry. Like, come on. There is no way you can say that Callum Hudson-Odoi is better than Mason Greenwood. There's no physical way you actually think that, because you know why? It might be your opinion, and I understand, I respect that. But when you're looking at facts, Mason Greenwood has not one but 2 feet that he can shoot from. He's done better in right winger as a fully striker. And the last point is the fact that he actually said that he wanted to play for Lampard. No one wanted to play for Lampard except for bloody Mason Mount. That was the simple reason why he was given captaincy in his last game. Do you know what I mean? You can't just say that.
No, I'm not saying that, but I feel like Hudson-Odoi for us has actually created chances. He's been down the wing, like getting to the box, trying to create chances. You can't take away the fact that he's not a talented player, because he is a talented player.
I never said that he was untalented.
No, I'm saying that. I'm just like, you seem shocked that I've picked Hudson-Odoi, but actually, if you look at it, they're both very talented players. For me personally, for what Hudson-Odoi has done for my team, that is why I'm picking him. Like, I'm not saying Greenwood is a bad player. I'm not saying that at all.
But look at it from a non-biased
me personally.
Yeah, but this is it. And I will be the unbiased one, because I will look at both and they're so close. They are so close. I think Mason Greenwood ain't even a right winger, and what he's doing on the right wing is phenomenal for me. Callum Hudson-Odoi's impressed me so much since Tuchel's come in. Hudson-Odoi has been one of them players that he's really got the best out of, and I think Hudson-Odoi in the coming years will go on to have a very successful career at Chelsea. I thought he was treated abysmally by Lampard. I absolutely detest how he was treated by Lampard. I rate them both. They're both English, and that is fantastic for me personally, because I want England to do well. I will go with Greenwood just because I think he can use both feet. He has got that little bit of danger about him, but that's not to say Hudson-Odoi is a crap player. Hudson-Odoi is an exceptional young talent who I think will go on to have an amazing Chelsea career. And I do see Greenwood being moved to that central centre-forward role either next year or the year after. But to dismount Hudson-Odoi like that, I think is wrong, because I think Hudson-Odoi is an exceptional talent with one heck of a bright career. And I'm excited for him. I really am. I think he's going to work wonders under Tuchel. I really do. And that's the unbiased bit. See, I can praise both players and not attack anyone.
I did too.
Yeah, I mean, no, you were
I said the fact that you actually thought that Mason Greenwood he's not on the same level as Callum Hudson-Odoi for me. I think they are.
I think they are on the right wing.
I think
do you know why I think that? Do you know why I think you see them as not? Is because realistically, the way the minutes that Callum Hudson-Odoi had under Lampard compared to the fact that Greenwood has had a lot more minutes than Hudson-Odoi this season. That's a fact.
No,
that's a fact.
Greenwood's had 19 appearances. Greenwood's had 19 appearances. Hudson-Odoi's had 16, so it's pretty even. Don't forget Greenwood. Don't forget Greenwood had a major issue at the start of the season. His friend committed suicide. He was a bit unwell in terms of that, so Greenwood did miss quite a large part of the start of the season.
Yeah. And his form would have been affected because of that. Do you mean mentally, if a player has to be strong if he wants to do well, and that's why Bruno is always doing well. He's mentally strong. He's always praising the players. He's always improving everyone, and that's why he's one of our top players. Mason, obviously, when he had that low blow, obviously it was going to take a while for him to get back into the form that he was last season. Everyone admired him last season because the fact is no one knew how to deal with him last season, and obviously people now know a tiny little bit more, but I do think tomorrow he will shine if he does start.
Yeah, that's fair. So obviously Greenwood's made it, and as I said, Greenwood also has a lot of these assists before an assist. If I'm saying it correctly, I remember the one against Fulham where he steals a ball in deep in his own half, runs the length of the pitch, passes it on to Bruno on the left, and Bruno crosses it into Cavani in the middle. So he does have a lot of these second assists. That is a thing. But I just think Greenwood is exceptional. We'll go for the left. Dom, who's your left winger?
Rashford. Has to be Rashford. Timo Werner on that left-hand side is nowhere near Rashford. And if you even put Werner's name next to Marcus Rashford, that is disgraceful. Timo Werner is wank.
Oh no, he's another.
And he's going to score an hat-trick tomorrow because I said that.
No, he won't. I'll have a sniper ready.
Yeah, but Rashford has to be for me.
RJ, who's your left winger?
for me, and I'll have reasoning between this, right? So Rashford is obviously he's been at the club for 5 years, and for those 5 years, I think he's made one of the biggest impacts for the last 10 years. He's been one of our most influential players because on and off the pitch, he's been unreal. And obviously, we're just talking about on the pitch. The man is honestly, on a good day, I don't think anyone can beat him on the pitch. On our team, Bruno's the only one that can beat him, but I think when he's on form, he's unreal. I do think, tomorrow he will have a big impact on our squad. If he does well, we might have a win. If not, we don't know, but that's the question. And that's the thing with most games. I mean, when we're talking about Liverpool, Rashford versus Trent was the main topic because obviously those two are one of the biggest players in the team, and we had to focus on them. And for me, you look at Timo Werner. I thought Timo Werner was going to be scoring 20, 30 goals a season because I thought, in the Bundesliga he could do the exact same, but it's a whole lot different when you have no space compared to in Germany. And then you look at Christian Pulisic. I think he'll be treated a lot better by Tuchel, obviously, because they were good friends back in the Dortmund days. But in my opinion, I don't think they'd come even anywhere near close to Marcus Rashford's ability. He definitely deserves to be there, and I'm kind of curious to see what Chelsea fans say.
Yeah, I mean, we can't base this off the fact that Rashford does feed kids, but let's be fair, that is an exceptional job he's done on and off the pitch. But Shao, your left winger.
Yeah, if anyone puts Werner, I think they're really stupid. We can't. You can't even compare Rashford to Werner, and any Chelsea fan that wants to tell me otherwise is not a Chelsea fan. They're not. Like, Rashford is incredible this season. What's Werner done? He's been MIA. He got his first goal a couple of weeks ago after 1,000 minutes of not. Like, what do you want? Chocolate coin? Shall I get you a chocolate coin medal so you can put it around your neck? Because it's your job. You're getting paid to do it, and you're not doing anything. I'm sorry. Is there a problem? Are you having a goal problem? Or do you not know how wide the goal is or what the white posts are that you have to get it in the back of the net? No, I'm sorry. Rashford, man, has been incredible. I love. Do you know what? There's two players in your. There's two players that I love watching in Man U, and that's Rashford and Bruno. And I'm sorry, anyone trying to compare Rashford to bloody Tiny or Bambi on, I don't know. I don't even know what his problem is. I think his feet are too small to get his kick the ball. I don't know. Something's wrong with him. But yeah, no, Rashford.
That is brilliant from Shao. I love that. Shed End, you picking Rashford or Timo Werner?
Oh God.
Please, mate. There's such a simple here, please.
I'll pick Rashford, but Charles, let me correct you on something. There's a time Hazard went 100 days without scoring. It doesn't mean
if you're going to try and defend Werner, don't bother. I don't care.
To be patient with Werner. He just came
the
the
fact
other
that
day.
you're trying to defend Werner actually makes me question you as a Chelsea fan right now. I'm
I questioned Tom as a United fan after his
Just to clarify something, how can you say the man has not performed this season? He's not turned up. He's missed shitload. He should, if you look at all the goals he's missed, he should be on about 30 goals. Is he not? No, he's on 4 or 5. He's not even in double figures
11
yet.
goals and you're calling him shit.
Yes, I'm calling him shit.
1 goal.
Come at me. I'm calling him shit.
I've got the stats between Rashford and Werner here.
I'm going to enjoy this. I'm going to enjoy this.
As a winger, Timo is not a winger.
Rashford has played one more game. He's got 9 goals, 6 assists. Werner's got 5 goals, 5 assists. I won't even go into the amount of minutes per goal because that will just harm Werner. I also won't go into shooting accuracy or shooting success.
No. Please, no. Bring his shooting accuracy. I want to hear that. I need this. Okay, bring the shooting accuracy.
Shooting accuracy. Rashford is 64.3. Werner is 53.8. Shooting success is Rashford's 16.4, Werner is 9.4.
Dead ass.
Dear Christ.
I don't even know how you're trying to compare him, or
Werner's him. Werner has done better than Rashford at hitting the woodwork. Rashford has hit the post once. Werner's hit it.
Get some social
That's
media
because
influencers to do some crossfire comments.
Rashford's getting it in the back of the net. That's
And
because
also,
Rashford's getting it in the back of the net.
Timo Werner also beats Rashford on big chances missed. Rashford's
Yeah,
missed
no
9.
shit there.
I
And
thought he was going to say big
Timo-
chances scored there. That's
Timo Werner has missed 13. So just
course
based
he
on that,
has.
it's really, really not much of a debate.
Not
You can't defend him. You can't defend him.
no.
Sorry, you can't.
That's like
The
me
one we'll
defending.
go to.
But I can understand
there's
how you
one-
guys are comparing Werner and Rashford. Werner is not a winger.
Because they've played in the same position this season, I wouldn't
He's
compare
played for
them
the
if Werner was...
majority of this season. No, the majority of this season, he has played in that position. The majority of this season, he has played in that position.
Under
and you want to come
Lampard
and tell
and
me, that he doesn't play in that position. He's been playing in that position for the majority of the season. And if you haven't been watching, you're not a Chelsea fan. So don't come at me trying to defend
What is
Werner.
happening under Tuchel? Shall
I don't care.
Shall you need to watch these games? What is happening under
Tuchel
Tuchel?
is still playing him in that position. He has played him in that position.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that.
No,
Stop
he's
defending
not.
him.
No, he's
No,
not.
I think
He's
not even
playing as an inside forward. There is a difference between a winger and an inside forward.
Rashford
Yeah?
also played
And that's what you
as
guys
an
call two number
Yeah,
10.
Rashford,
He's an
Rashford
inside
is the
forward.
best player.
also
He's not an
Rashford
out and
also
out
plays as an
winger.
inside.
An out and out winger is
Neither is
like
Neither
Hudson
is
Odoi.
Rashford. Rashford
Yeah.
is an inside forward
He's a
as
right
well.
footed. He's
So
right
they
footed.
both
Rashford's
play inside
decent.
forward.
Werner's not. End of discussion.
But moving on, because I can't believe that has actually got into a sort of argument. There is one spot left in this team, the combined 11 for Chelsea United, and it's up front. Dom, who's your striker?
This is such a hard one because I've got two, but let's say based on Premier League, I'm gonna go Olivier Giroud. Mainly because every time he comes on the pitch, even if it's off the bench, you're thinking he's going to come on and hurl us up, score, and he's so dominant on the pitch as well. And he's brilliant. No, Cavani's good, but Giroud is fucking brilliant.
RJ?
For me, it's Olivier Giroud, and the thing is, I've always thought he was always mistreated at Chelsea because the fact is, there's always questions about obviously who's the striker. Olivier Giroud is the best striker at Chelsea. He just is. He knows how to play football. He knows how to improve everybody on the pitch. That's why he's starting for France every single time. You don't see like Michy Bat. No, you don't even see Martial starting. You know what I mean? You don't even see anyone else except for
Please
Giroud
don't
starting.
ever put Martial and Giroud in the same sentence. So I'm banning.
I'm saying which one.
Even bringing Martin.
What I'm saying is the reason why he's in France is because he makes Kylian Mbappe and everyone around him a lot better because his movement is, I would say, quite similar to Cavani's. They're really good and they're way better than everyone else in the league. For me, he's so mistreated. I thought he was going to leave last summer and go to some Italian club where he would have got his respect. But I think this season, I think Tuchel might give him the respect he deserves because the fact is, if you even put Tammy Abraham above him, you can't just do that to the man because the fact is,
sort of, if you put Cavani, if you put Abraham over Giroud, you'd need your head testing.
exactly.
But moving to Charles, Cavani or Giroud?
You know, Cavani has been a very good player for you guys, but I'm going to say Giroud. For me, Giroud has always been one of my absolute, kind of favourite players. I was fuming when he was mistreated because I feel like he is actually, for me, he's been one of my favourite players since he joined Chelsea. Genuinely has. And I literally enjoy watching him because, man, he comes on and I'm like, is he going to get a goal? Is he going to get an assist? Is he just going to cause problems? Is he going to cause mayhem? What's he going to do? I really enjoy watching him. And for me, I've said this since I think I've said this when rumours were swirling that people were ready to get rid of Giroud. I'm like, no, Abraham, bye, see you later. Werner, bye, see you later. Over, for me, Giroud takes over both of them because he's incredible. I don't even want to have this anyone having a discussion that you need to keep Abraham is absolutely tapped in the head. Actually tapped in the head. Genuinely,
why.
like
This is
Abraham, I'm ready to give Abraham back to Aston Villa, a mid-table, because Abraham is not a top 6 player. He's a mid-table player. He is. That is all he is. He's a mid-table player. I'm ready to send him. Like he can go enjoy Jesse Lingard in the mid-table range. But as far as I'm concerned, he is not a top 6 player.
I'm higher than you.
Don't distract my boy.
Totally agree, and this is why I massively respect Charles' opinions, because she does speak the truth. Like Abraham and Werner need to really look at themselves and work harder if they want to get into.
Which is why I want to keep Giroud, because I think Giroud will challenge Werner more than if we Abraham's not even going to challenge anybody. So I don't even, the thought of keeping Abraham creeps me out. Like I don't even want it. Like it gives me nightmares. It's like a horror film coming to life. I'm like, if you want to destroy Chelsea, you keep Abraham. Like you carry on, hon, because I don't deal with this. Like no, thank you. Like Giroud. He's there. He doesn't need help getting the ball in the back of the net. Werner and Abraham need to go to Specsavers. Then they need to be taught what a goal is and what the netting is at the back and the posts. And then we can have a discussion. But they need like serious goal help. Whereas Giroud is talented.
Totally agree. And
but I'm not taking away from Cavani, because for me, Cavani has done Man United justice this season completely. Like he's really done a great job. So I can't take that away. Just wanted to say that.
Shed End, obviously, one word answer, Giroud or Cavani. Giroud obviously gets in, but
I'll say Giroud. But if Cavani was 100% fit, I would choose Cavani.
Yeah. That's
fair. Absolutely mental.
do you know what? I think Cavani and Giroud are such similar players. You just can't tear them apart.
Yeah, they are. If you look at the movement inside the box.
I wouldn't mind that question happening if Cavani had been fit all season and had issues.
I'm just saying they're very similar.
No, they are very similar. But if he'd been fit all season, I'd have 100% happily with that comment. But he hasn't been, so we can't really compare. Like they are similar, but next season, if they both have a great season, then we can have that conversation. But he's got a couple of injuries, which is a shame because I do enjoy seeing him play, especially when he comes on and gets the last-minute goal. He is a bit like Giroud. He likes to come on and get that last-minute goal, which is fab.
And quickly, the manager, Dom, Ollie or Tuchel?
Solskjaer. I can't go away from him.
I just think Ole for them. I mean, he started this project really 2 years ago, and I mean, look at it now. We're second to the league, and we potentially, at one stage, we could have said we were title challengers at one stage, and to have that after 8 years, I think you have to give it to the man.
Yeah, Sean.
I'm actually not going to disagree. I'm not saying Tuchel is a bad manager. But if you look at the difference between Ole and Tuchel at the minute and what Ole's done for Man United, like they've been second for the majority of the season. They've absolutely dominated. They've been really a good team. Like this is sort of seeing a really good Man United, a team that you don't really want to play. So for me, Ole, because the first season he won against PSG and then it kind of went downhill, but he's brought it back and he's turned it around. He's done a complete 180 and he absolutely deserves it.
Totally respect that. And Shed End, Ole or Tuchel?
He's just saying Ole because he spent 1 billion on. So I'll go for Tuchel. I'm sorry, I'll go for Tuchel.
I mean, I just want to correct you. Ole hasn't spent £1 billion.
Yeah,
Ole hasn't spent £1 billion. That £1 billion
He's been here for 3 years.
Yeah, but he hasn't spent £1 billion.
What did Tuchel do? That is stand out.
That last comment was incorrect. I just want to correct you on that.
Just to clarify, I don't get how you can compare. No. Hold on. I need to say something right now. This is coming from a Chelsea fan who actually loves Tuchel. Like I'm not even what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Like, I'm not even playing. How can you actually say that? Like, you're genuinely a bit delusional. Like, how can you say that? Like, how can you compare?
If you can send that team to me, on Twitter.
How can you compare
If-
Ollie to Tuchel right now? Tuchel's had 5 games.
Tuchel, I'm
and-
not even trying to do that because
Don't even come
Tuchel
at me with that.
is
Yeah, you chose.
miles
You
away.
chose. You chose. No.
We're-
You chose Tuchel. You've dug your own grave. You can lay in it now. Like,
Right,
nah.
Yeah. So
Oh my
we're going to move
God.
on. Obviously, Ollie did get into the combined 11. Maybe in a year's time, if Tuchel has great success, maybe it'll be a harder debate. But
But that's what I mean. You can't compare them. Tuchel's had 5 games. Ollie's had 3
Yeah,
years
yeah.
and done a great
Yeah.
job.
And if you think about it, with the what Chelsea have got at their club, they should be fighting for top 4. United shouldn't really be challenging for a title. I know they're not, but they are still
Even though the
second.
centre back
So-
line of Harry Maguire and like
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a fridge freezer at the back, I mean, he's doing a wonderful job at he's doing a wonderful job at sorting that fridge freezer out. But before we end this, I just want to quickly get everyone's score predictions for tomorrow. We'll start with you, Dom. Score prediction for tomorrow.
It's going to be a very tough game, so I'm going to go 2-1 United.
Totally agree. RJ?
Yeah, likewise. I think it's going to be tough. I do think Chelsea want this. I think they will. I think both teams really need the win. To be fair, both want top 4, and I do believe with obviously West Ham, unfortunately losing to Man City, I think this is the chance for Chelsea to get in top 4. So, but to United, this is to solidify top 4. So I do believe. I do think from a United perspective, I do want to win, but I'm going to say probably a 2-1 win, just for United. But very close.
Shah, what about you?
For me, this game can go 2 ways. It can literally be like the most overhyped game and literally end in like a 0-0 or like a 1-1 draw. Because a lot of these big overhyped games have ended like that. What I'd like to see is, because I feel like Man U want it to stay up in the top 4, and Chelsea need it now. West Ham have dropped points. Chelsea need it. Like, we can't be doing what Lampard did when other teams were dropping points. We were dropping points. We need to get these points. I agree it's going to be very, very close. I think it go 2-1 to either United or Chelsea, but I'm going to say Chelsea.
Yeah, of course. Being a Chelsea fan, I'd expect no less. Shaden, bro, what about you? Score prediction.
Wow. This is... It will be a hard match. Highly tactical from Tuchel. Of course, we know what United are coming to do. They're coming to sit back and counter-attack. So it will be 1-0 Chelsea.
How do you know that? No, I'm sorry. How can you say that? Because the fact is, have you seen what we've
Are you
been
a
playing?
mind reader?
Seriously.
Can you get into Ollie's mind? Can you get into Ollie's mind and read it? Because if that's the case,
that's what United have been doing. And Sean, today you're an United fan. I don't understand. You know how United play. They fit back.
I do want to sort of defend Shaden quickly. Yeah, I do want to quickly defend him. Yes, United are going to counter-attack. It's how United have played against all the top teams, right? Don't even bother denying it. You play with a double pivot, slap bang 4, you will counter-attack. But that's what makes you dangerous, right? United, when they dominate possession, when they have to try and break a team down, that's when they struggle. They will counter-attack, and that's why it's why they're so deadly, right? When you've got the likes of that space for Mason Greenwood, Rashford, Bruno to play in on that counter, I think that does make United dangerous. I think it'll be a 0-0 or 1-1. I can't see either team taking it because I think they're 2 evenly contested teams. But we have come to the end of the stream. It's been a fantastic stream. Loved it, every bit of it. But everyone watching, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Dom, where can they find you, bro?
I'll say that after I see the team tomorrow. So you'll probably find me in the canal when Martial starts.
He's keeping to his word, to be fair, let's be honest.
He does keep to his word. RJ, mate, what about you?
Yeah, simple as that. Robotic Jaguar on Instagram, YouTube, and now on Twitch.
Oh, Charles?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Charles_Strong, and you can find me on my YouTube channel, Strong TV.
Which should also be in the description. I keep forgetting to put RJ's in there. I will remember one day. And Shaden, bro, where can they find you, mate?
On Twitter, it's at Shedend2. At Instagram is Official Lane.
Yeah, that's fair. And you can find me at Niall_PAFC. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and notifications. Smash that like button. Share it on your stream so that more people get to see the replay. It was a great stream. And yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game tomorrow, and I look forward to watching it as a neutral. Well, I've got no pressure on, and I can just laugh and enjoy hopefully a good game. But everyone, thanks for watching, and until next time, cheers.